Hey guys, it's Jessica, and I am back with my annual craft fair recap that I like to call Studs and Duds. And this is where I will go through and let you know um, what sold, what didn't, thoughts on the craft fair, things I'm going to be changing, um, all of that. And I do want to be very transparent just because I feel like if I had seen these videos years ago, and the crafters I had watched, and they were really transparent on prices and all of that and what sold and what didn't, like, I just feel like it's a great learning opportunity. So um, even though I've been doing this for many years, I feel like I learned something every single craft fair. So I had my first craft fair yesterday. It was at a high school that is really, really well attended in that area. It's the first time I've ever sold there, and so I definitely learned some things just being in that actual environment and what I'm going to do next year, because I do think I want to sign up for it again next year because it's really well attended. So let's go ahead and get started on what sold, what didn't, what's a bestseller, what was surprising, all of that. So the first thing on my list are my Hallmark mug kits. That is a video I posted not too long ago where I was showing that I was going to revamp some projects from last year. Um, I haven't uploaded the new video that shows the final product, but I'll do that after this video. So those I actually ended up selling 2 of. I had 6 of them, and I sold them for 15 each. They did bring a lot of attention to my booth, which is one of those things that you kind of want. You want a few of those items to be attention grabbers, so then people come over, and that is definitely one of them. So I know that you're probably like, I don't know what the final Hallmark mug was, but I'll have that video up today. The ornaments that I shared in my What Am I Taking to My Craft Fair, they are the ornaments that had the story cards in them, and I had 3 of them. I had an elephant, which is like the bonds of sisterhood. I had the nightingale ornament, which is for nurse appreciation, and then I had the cardinal one, which is like a in memorial type ornament for those who have passed away. So those sold really well. I sold them for $7 each just because none of them were painted, none of that. I am thinking about painting a few of them and maybe upping the price by $1, but I don't know. We'll see. So I sold out of the nurse ones. I sold out of the cardinal ones. But what's interesting is I didn't sell a single one of the ornament of the elephant sisterhood ones. But I did have a lot of people look at them and read them. So I definitely need to make some more of those for my next craft fair that I have coming up in a few weeks. The Color Me ornament kits. I thought these would sell really well at $5 each. I did not sell a single one. I took 20 and I came home with 17, and that's because I let my nieces each pick one. And then, because I have 2 nieces, and then there was a little girl who got lost from her grandma, and it like happened right in front of my booth, and I felt so bad. She was like really sad crying. So I asked her if she wanted to come pick one just because I wanted to make her feel better. So I didn't sell one, even though I came home with less. The biggest seller of the entire craft fair were these chapstick holders, which is interesting because I didn't put a whole lot into them. I thought about stamping out a sentiment. I just didn't have the time. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go with the simple twine. Let's see how they do. And I sold 35 of them and I took 45. I sold them for $3 each. And this was another thing that was a huge attention grabber. People would come over and be like, what are these? What's in them? And then when it said, like my sign said chapstick holder, and that's all it said. So they're like, oh, cool. Is this something that you put chapstick in? And I would say, no, there's actually a chapstick in it. You know, it's to give away as a gift. And that, for some reason, like really blew people away that I was selling them with the chapstick. I don't really know why. So people loved these. And I sold just as many Christmas ones as I did like generic like floral paper um, ones. So I do think I'll probably make more Christmas ones for my next craft fair, but um, I don't know. Like, I think these would be a great seller no matter which craft fair you have, no matter what season. People really like these. The mini notebooks. This is the first time in a while that I've taken these. I missed getting them done for my last craft fair last year. Um, I sold these for $2 each. I had so many people stop and pick them up and look at them. I didn't sell as many as I thought I would. I ended up selling 3 of them, and then I used one myself because I actually forgot my own organizer. That's how scatterbrained I was. So I ended up pulling a notebook off and using it to write everything down that I was selling just so I could keep track of it. But I sold these for $2 each. I had 26. I came home with 22. The Santa keys. This is the old version. The newer version I left up in up in Idaho because that's where my next craft fair will be in a few weeks. I didn't sell a single one, whether it was old version or new version. So I brought all the old ones home, and I am going to be redoing them and actually putting them on a ornament that I've seen. So I'm hoping to get that done in the next week. If I do, I will definitely hop back on and share that because they are pretty cool looking. But yeah, I didn't sell a single one of these. I had 25 of them. They are $3 each, and I came home with 25. The tic-tac-toe bags. This was another one of those things that grabbed a lot of people's attention. I had one out of the bag. I had all the pieces out on display so they could see, you know, what it was, how to use it. I had 11 of them, and I sold one. I was kind of surprised by that because I had a lot of people say, oh my gosh, these are so dang cute. This is such a great idea. It might be the price. I had them at $6. I might lower it down to $5 and see if that kind of grabs their attention and, you know, they're interested. My issue is that these were kind of time intensive with cutting the fabric, ironing the fabric, restringing them, all of that. So like, I don't want to sell myself short, but at the same time, like, I don't really want to be a craft warehouse where I make all this stuff and it just sits in my house. So I'm not sure if I'll lower the price. We'll see how it goes. The Cozy Toes kits. I know I posted a video on those within the past week, and I was showing you guys that I'm going to revamp them because I had them in a little plastic box that I had gotten from Hobby Lobby, and I didn't love it because I thought it was flimsy. So I switched them over to the like Santa looking tins. I'll definitely post the video to that below in the description so you can see what I'm referring to if you haven't seen that video. So my idea on that was that I'm going to redo the packaging on them, and then I'm going to add a ornament and then up the price on it. So I had this ornament here that says, in my demure era, very cutesy, very mindful. So if you don't know what this is like a viral soundbite on TikTok. Yeah, I don't really get it, but my girls who are teenagers understood it and thought it was hilarious. So I thought that those Cozy Toes kits, like for people to do pedicures, would be more geared towards the younger crowd who would understand this viral TikTok ornament. What happened is that people just kept walking by them and they didn't even stop to look at them. I had one lady did stop and was like, you know, what does this mean? And I had to explain the TikTok thing. So about an hour left at the craft fair, I told my daughter, I said, let's cut all the ornaments off. Let's lower the price on the kits to $10 because I had them at $15 with the ornament. So we cut off all the ornaments. lowered the price to $10, and I sold all 7 of them. So I just want to encourage you that if you see things not selling and, you know, like just kind of stagnant, then like in the moment, definitely take advantage and like repackage it, redo it, add something, take something away, reprice it, and see what happens. Because they were kind of big and bulky. I didn't really want to leave them up in Idaho at my friend's house because I didn't want them to take up a lot of space for her. So I am so glad all 7 of them sold. So the Cozy Toes, I initially had them at 15, took off the ornament, dropped them to 10, and sold all 7. The journal sets, I still love these so much. These did not sell very well. I only sold 1. I had 8 of them, and I came home with 7. And honestly, I only had one lady look at them, and she's the one who bought it. So I don't know if it was the way I had them displayed. I don't know if they were, so I had them in between my ornament stands, so they might have gotten lost with those ornament stands being kind of overbearing. I'm not really sure, but I'm going to take these to the next one, and we'll see how they do. I had them at $7 each. The nuggets, I had them at $3 each. I went with 12 and I came home with 6. So about half and half. I'm sorry. So I sold about half. I actually had 3 or 4 different people who stopped by my booth say, "Hey, are you the same seller who's at this other location?" And I said, "No, I don't know anything about this other location." And they said, "Oh, well, they have the exact same stuff you do. Like they have the nuggets and they have the mini notebooks." And I said, "Oh, no, I've never been there." So it got me thinking that I might do some of these projects like every other year. What I worry about is that people come to my booth and see the same thing over and over again. So I think I'm going to start like figuring out like a schedule of like every year, every other year, what should I take? What should I not take? Because people are sick of seeing it, all of that. And I think these nuggets is going to be one of those things where I only do it every other year. But we'll see how it goes at my next craft fair, and we'll see if I sell out of them there. I don't know. It was just a thought I had. The notebooks and pens, and these are the ones that I have, shaker pens, and I did a tutorial on this last year. I didn't sell a single one. I have these for, I think $5, and I didn't sell a single one. However, at my the Festival of Trees that I did last year, I sold out of these. And so that Festival of Trees is coming up again in a few weeks, so I'll take these there and we'll see how they do there. The Christmas junk journals. I talked about these in my what am I taking to my craft fair video. I lowered the price to these to $5, and I only sold 1. So yeah, people just, I mean, they liked looking at them and they liked picking them up, but they just were not selling at all. So I don't think I'll be making these again. The recipe books. I had 8 of them, and I sold 2. These were another thing that were a great attention grabber. I had them up in a like tiered display, and it was the first thing that people saw, and so they would come over and start looking at them and flipping through them. They really loved the idea of them. But again, I only sold 2. I probably will not stop making these and taking them. I think these are specific to like a certain audience, and they're definitely not like for the mass public. People who like to cook and bake and who appreciate the time it takes that goes into these is where they're going to sell. And I definitely had a few ladies stop and say, these are amazing. Like, I would love to buy one, but I don't want to mess it up. It's so pretty. Like, and then I had a lady who bought the two was like, oh, these are fantastic. I am going to put all of my recipes in there and give them to my daughters. So these definitely are for a certain audience. And even though I only sold two, I'm still going to make them because I love them so much. I sold them for $8. And then the notebook and pencil kits, and this one I lost the pencil apparently. These are $3, and I ended up selling 7 of them, and I had 20. So not bad. They definitely moved more than they did last year. I'll be taking these again up to my next craft fair in a few weeks, which is the 5-day long festival, and we'll see how they do. This is another one of those things, I don't know if I'm going to make it every year. I think people who know my booth are always like, why are these always here? Like, we haven't bought them yet, so we're not going to buy them now. But I don't know. We'll see. Let's make sure I hit everything. Oh, so the Christmas activity jars, I shared those in one of my taking to my craft fair. I had those at $10 each. I had 3 of them, and I didn't sell a single one. I had a lot of people look at them. Again, they were kind of up on a shelf and not really visible. The sign wasn't that big. So that might have been my own doing. So we'll see how the next craft fair goes. The nativity ornaments that I shared in my what am I taking to my craft fair video, I sold those for $6 each. I had 9 of them, and I sold 2. The tags that were wooden tags that said something you wear, something you read, something you want, and something you need. Those were $10 each. If you want to see those, they're in my what am I taking to my craft fair video. I sold 2 of them. I had, I think I only had 5 packages, and I came home with 3. I'm actually going to be making more of these, but I'm going to be doing them in different colors. So I had a lady say if I had more just plain black, she would have bought them all, but because they had glitter on them, like, my guess is she probably had boys. So I'm thinking I'm going to do some in black and in like a Tiffany blue, and then in a pink, and we'll see how those do. The Santa tracker ornaments, I had 5 of them. I sold 2, and they were $8 each. And then the elf notes set that I had, you can see that in my what am I taking to my craft fair. I had 4 of them, and I only sold 1, and I was kind of surprised by that. I thought they were really cute, but yeah, only 1 person was interested. So now for the money aspect of it, my booth fee was $85. I definitely covered my booth fee. I had about $426 in sales. Not fantastic. Like, I had a goal of 500, so I was a little bit short of my goal, but I feel like it's pretty good. I mean, I definitely had craft fairs where I only sold like $200 that day. But because I had to travel out of state for this one, like, I'm glad it was a little bit more to cover gas and all of that. But a couple ideas that I wrote down, and that's where I'm going to keep this in my craft fair organization notebook, is that I saw so many people who had bought wooden Christmas decor. And I was surprised by that because I thought that was kind of like going out of style, but I was so wrong. So I'm going to start looking into maybe making a little bit more wooden like Christmas decor stuff, especially like these signs that said joy. Like, I saw at least 3 or 4 ladies that had those. I saw like wooden houses that people were walking by with. So I'm definitely gonna maybe do some more home decor stuff. And then I wrote a note to myself that for this particular area, I should have been in the main gym. So this high school, it had the big gym, and then they had what they called an auxiliary gym, and then they had booths set up in the cafeteria, and then they had it all along the hallways. I mean, it was massive. There was probably 300 vendors. People definitely liked to be in the main gym. So when I do this again next year, I wrote a note to myself that I need to be in a different area. So then I got to thinking about when I gave away the Color Me Christmas ornaments. I'm thinking I might have like little freebies to give away next time. So maybe like little paper gift card holders that aren't that expensive to make and, you know, aren't a high price point. I'm thinking about giving away freebies. So then I'll have my card in there. Because that was the other thing is I got asked so many times if I had a card. And I said, I don't. This is a hobby. Like, I don't really do this for like income purposes. I just like making it and then getting it out of my house kind of a thing. But I've never even thought to have cards. But it turns out I definitely need them. So my thought is if I package some freebies, like a little gift card holder that's just made out of paper, and then add my card to it, then I can start adding it to those people who purchase things or people who come by. Then I can give them that, and you know, they can pass it along to their friends. Or I just think that word of mouth tends to travel a long ways in circumstances like this. Because for example, I had a woman come by who was like, oh, I heard that you had paper journals because I'm a big journaler. You know, I wanted to see what you had. And she was the one who bought one of the journals. So I definitely think that getting your name out there in other avenues is a great idea and a great thing to do. I haven't done it yet, obviously, but I'm definitely going to do that next year. Another thing is I am such a procrastinator. Like, I stress myself out so much, like the weeks leading up to craft fair season. And I feel like it's not really fair to me. It's not fair to my kids. It's not fair to my husband. It's not fair to my house. Like, I have crap everywhere. So I think starting in January, I am going to do like a challenge for myself. And then I'll do videos on it, and then would definitely encourage those who want to participate, and start making these things early. Start preparing early. Start like getting yourself to a point where once craft fair season rolls around, you're like, perfect, I have all of this done. All I have to do is slap a label on. All I have to do is add the candy so it's fresh, you know, whatever the case may be. But I definitely have learned the hard way over and over and over again that I need to stop procrastinating with this. So that is it for my video today. I'll definitely be posting the video on the Hallmark mugs. Just to warn you, it's not a great video because I had to do it in a hurry on my way out the door. But I'll be back with a Studs and Duds video once my week-long festival is done and let you know how things go. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them down below and I will address them. And thank you guys so much for being here.